So here we go. Mark's on the lag, and we're off in this race to 7. Oh, screwed that straight in off. So early mistake from Mark Farnsworth. Pretty tasty split for Mark Boyle to get into this match. Now that Gareth's made the long trek up to the commentary box. Good evening, Gareth.
Good evening, Simon. It's like a little maze to get up here. Yeah,
we're up in the gods. It's pretty good view of all the tables. We can't actually see the match table unless we crane our necks, but it's pretty good up here.
Well, Mark's gone enough to break as he first break.
Yeah, he screwed straight into the corner pocket.
Looks like a good split, so I don't see Mr. Boyle having much trouble with these, really.
Yeah. Nothing to develop, everything's open, so.
Yeah. Sort of been out for a little while, lost track of the tournament. There's been a few close matches, hasn't there, in the last couple of rounds?
Yeah, I think I was just getting some scores out. There's been really dramatic matches that I've seen towards the end. Mark Farnsworth beat Ben Davies 7-6 on the stream table, so everyone that was tuned in for that match would have seen the dramatic conclusion.
Yeah, did Ben foul?
Yeah, Mark went in off on the break, and with cue ball in hand, Ben fouled, placing the cue ball.
Oh my God.
And then Mark cleared up.
Yeah, I was just outside, and Ben walked through, and he was smiling actually, and I thought he'd won, but he's obviously a bit of a.
Yeah, that would be a sore one, a tough one to take, I think.
It wasn't a winning smile, no.
No. And Mark Boyle beat Ross Fernie 7-6.
Yeah, he broke and dished the decider. I watched the end of that match. Yeah.
I think he had a 7-6 win over Liam Dunster in the quarterfinals as well. So it's been some tight matches for Mark and for both of them, because I think in the quarterfinals Mark Farnsworth beat Simon Fitzsimmons 7-5 as well.
Yeah.
So
it's what you expect at this level. Every player's got the capability of dishing a lot of frames. So
yeah,
this is definitely quite an easy start for Mark Boyle. It's just the one thing you don't want to do in the first frame is going off and leave an easy finish like that.
Yeah, no work for Mark really. It was all there. Just had to plot the right route or plot a good route.
Yeah. Loads of options. He didn't even have to be on certain balls there, really. He was always going to be on a ball whichever way he went.
So in those situations, would you still be having a clear route in mind, or do you just play some areas?
Yeah, it's more areas on those, Simon, really. Yeah. It's the way the yellows were there. There was nothing difficult to do. You don't have to be perfect on every ball. You've always got plenty of options, so as long as you get a decent white and keep it away from the cushions and away from the red balls, you're fine, really. You can always change your route along the way. It doesn't really matter on those situations.
Yeah. In his pre-game interview, Mark Farnsworth was saying that he's got off to a bad start in the last two matches. I think he was 4-0 down to Ben, and he was well behind to Simon as well. So Mark's got the opportunity to do the same to him here.
Yeah,
good break now.
Yeah, I've been watching a few of Mark Boyle's games, and he does this side break from the left-hand side, hits the second red down, and when he hits them well, he gets quite easy finishes.
He hits the side break harder than I've seen anyone else hit the side break.
He does really hammer it.
Yeah, and managed to keep the white on the table.
Yeah, he looks like he's gone dry this time. He does hit that quite hard. And normally with that break, if you hit it too hard, you can easily lose the white off the table.
Yeah.
So, it all depends here with Mark. If the two yellows in the top corner plant easily, he'll be going yellows, I think. But if they don't plant quite so easily, he might cut the red in. It's over towards the middle pocket and try and maybe put a yellow as well and then go reds.
So open up that whole area and then reassess.
See how they land after the first shot.
I think the two yellows at the top probably do plant.
Yeah, they do.
Comfortably.
Yeah. Still not easy with the two yellows on the right hand side of the table, just above the black spot though. They're going to be a little bit tricky because they only go into one or two pockets really. If you can drop this in now and then he can get on the one on the right hand side in the right middle, that'll make life quite easy.
Yeah. and then it would be a case of looking for quite good position onto the black.
Yeah. It's a good setup up here, Simon. This is quite a good commentary position up here, isn't it?
Yeah, you're a bit out of the way. You don't feel like you're on top of the table and the players are listening to you.
Yeah, you can actually speak a bit more vociferously, can't you? You can actually see some of the other games as well. There's still plenty of pool going on in the arena, isn't there?
Yeah, no, absolutely. The amateur matches are in full swing. I think we've got matches going on probably for another hour or so.
Yeah, so he obviously didn't think he could drop it in the middle next shot, so he's played for it long. He's come a little bit awkward. He's just got to play this pretty gentle. Played it well.
Yeah. He's going away from the yellows here, but
so he'll probably just stun up off the bottom cushion with a touch of left-hand side and just leave the plant next shot. I don't think he needs to hit it too hard. He could come out with a bit of extra pace, but as long as that plant goes quite easily, he should be okay, I think.
Which way would you be looking to move the black, or just trying to play on it?
No, I think he'll play on it if possible. Yeah, he could hit this harder and try and get his white in the middle of the table. Yeah, that's right. He gave himself plenty of options with playing it that way. I don't think he'd be trying to move the black, to be honest. I think if he'd somewhere where the white, sort of where it is now, to cut the black in on a big pocket with the red, I think he'd be more than happy with that.
So he wants to leave the yellow to the left middle as his last ball?
Yeah, I think so, yeah. Yeah, he'll be happy with that. Just take the pocket one now, and as you say, leave the middle one till last, and he's got a massive pocket then for the black.
Yeah, that red being there really does help.
Yeah. There's not going to be many mistakes in this match. These are two solid players. They think about every shot. They're not going to make any silly mistakes, so it's going to be decided a lot on the break, I think.
An interesting part might be the shot clock. It's only in operation for the final.
Yeah.
And Mark's been in plenty of finals, Mark Farnsworth that is, but with this being Mark Boyle's first tour event, this will be his first final.
Yeah, it could, on certain shots, it could come into it, because they do both like to think about the shots.
Yeah.
Neither of them. He's actually missed it too close, if anything, there. That's probably could cost him the frame. But
I did have a quick word with Mark Boyle on my way up and just wished him luck, and he did mention the shot clock, so he's obviously, he's thinking about it. Yeah,
Mark Boyle is known as quite a methodical player. He doesn't rush into anything. He likes to think about his shots. So. But that was a costly mistake by Mark Farnsworth there. I think because the red was there, he thought it was unmissable, and he's missed it in the little gap.
Yeah, the tiniest gap.
Yeah. Now I think Mark Boyle's going to try and find a snooker where he's going to leave Farnsworth a tricky one.
Be interesting, because it's one of those that he could easily foul and pop the black at the same time.
Yeah.
And obviously Mel's going to be on hand to make sure he makes a good effort for this.
I think he's left a bit of a sniff at that. With there's quite an open space to come to this bottom cushion with plenty of left-hand side, and he can have quite a good go at this. I don't think he'll be far off getting this. I'd have been more tempted to play it behind the spot there, and to leave him not much. He's got quite a wide open space to go at this.
I think the black will go in here, it's just whether he fouls.
Yeah. It's a good line. Has he got the pace? Oh, there you go. Missed the red by a fraction there, but good cheer from the crowd there. There's a few people watching.
Yeah, it's building up.
Yeah. Must be a few people have had bets on it, I think.
Yeah, there was Mark Farnsworth was the 4-1 favourite before the tournament. I think Mark Boyle was 14-1 to win.
Yeah, I think he came in quite quickly, didn't he? I think people got that 14-1 pretty quick.
You could get a 40-1 special on Mark Boyle to win both the Open and amateur events. He hasn't. I don't think he's played in the amateur yet. Because
he's probably been too busy in the Open. Yeah, I think he might regret that shot. Actually, he just left that space open for the. It was just more of a judgment shot. That as long as Mark could judge the side off the cushion, it wasn't that difficult a shot, really. I think he should have left the snooker a bit straighter.
Yeah.
There was plenty of his own balls in the way if he'd left it more towards the middle of the table.
So see if Mark can keep the white on the table this time. He screws straight in the top left.
One
last
game
time.
each against the break, so.
It's a good break.
Nice control that time, yeah. Lovely split as well. There's not really two balls anywhere near each other, so plans his route here. First ball could be a little tricky, maybe.
Yeah, my first thought was yellows, but then yellows are maybe a tricky first shot.
Yeah. I can't really. Probably the long straight yellow goes in past the black.
Yeah.
That might be the shot, I think.
And then it'd be whether the yellow goes past the red in the middle. It goes to both corners fine, though.
Yeah, I think he might have to take that to a corner, but cues the one in long. Give him plenty of options later on to take that yellow by the red into one of the corner pockets. I mean, he could go reds. It's like I said, no, he's going for the original shot, like we thought, long straight yellow. Yeah, he's going to take the one to the left corner now and drop across to the one in the right corner and try and leave himself the more tricky yellow by the red over the middle pocket, just into the bottom right. And as long as these next two shots work out and he's straight on that red, it's game over, really. Yeah.
So he's looking to, when he takes one to the left corner, he wants to be fairly straight on the one to the top right corner, and that should then leave a fairly just make work through the pots.
He'll just stun this out, try and miss the reds, and just come back out to fairly straight. Yeah, he's caught the red. That was the danger. He's got a bit too much reaction on it.
And now the red on the right hand side rail becomes quite a big target.
Yeah, I think he's going to have to try and screw past that now, and maybe nudge. He's going to have to nudge the two balls and hope for a bit of luck now. I think I'm not sure he can play it the way he originally wanted to. Trust to a bit of luck here now, I think. But there's a lot of reds covering pockets, so it's not. If he goes into them, he's not leaving himself many definite shots.
I think he's playing your shot and screwing into them off one cushion. Yeah,
he's played that lovely. Yeah, just didn't get into it too much. He just had to get into it perfectly to not get into the red. Not guaranteed, but he'll probably try and screw this back a little bit.
Yeah, he's got a fair bit of angle on this.
Yeah, it's just off straight. He can maybe leave himself sort of near the red over the middle pocket and either come across twice off the one near the black or drag it in gently. Oh, he might be forcing this through, actually. He's just punched it across. He's going to come across twice now with this one and just leave himself.
Yeah, he's got the same line that you were talking about, just a fraction closer to it.
Yeah, he's going to just come across twice, just past the black spot, and there's loads of space to land in there. Just judging the pace, really. Even if he goes too far, there's nothing that can really go wrong. You just come across twice and land in the open space. Yep. Something like that looks good.
Somewhere like that, yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Easy work for Mel in his orange shirt so far.
Just rack the balls up.
Racking the balls up. Yeah.
There could be plenty of that in this match.
Yeah, he's so solid, Mark. His positional play, that's what's separating him from all the other players at the minute. His positional play, he's just, when the finishes are there, his positional play just keeps it easy for him.
Yeah.
Other players have got the same amount of ability and can pull off the same shots, but he's just more consistent with his positional play, and that's why he's always there or thereabouts in these tournaments now.
Yeah, he does. He is more consistent. He is there or thereabouts nearly every tournament, it feels like.
Yeah. He never gives up in matches either. He'll have some bad starts, or he'll be behind early in games, and he still thinks he'll just get enough chances to win, and he just gets there.
Yep.
Can't argue with what he's doing at the minute.
He's shown that today already, hasn't he, with being behind in both the quarterfinals and semi-finals and just hanging in.
Yeah, well, he's 4-0 down. A lot of people at 4-0 down in a semi-final think someone's breaking well against you. They'll be thinking, I can't get near him now. He's going to break, and I can't get back into it. But
yeah.
It's not the way he thinks. He does have a positive attitude to the game.
So, can Mark Boyle respond? Let's see how hard he hits this with a side break. This is, you go and try this at your club and keep the white on the table. It's quite impressive.
really is
Yeah.
it's a hammer for a side break, isn't it?
Yeah, it really is.
I always think it was not too bad, really. He's a little bit unlucky. He's probably going to have to. It's a bit of a stretch because he's not the tallest guy, but he's going to have to go yellows, I think, because the reds are tricky down this bottom end. So he's going to have to. He's going to have to stretch for that tricky yellow. And
it looks, if he stretches the awkward yellow, then it's not. It looks like it might be a natural to get on the yellow to the right middle.
Yeah, yeah. But then the black's not going to be easy, is it, from there?
No. But then if you go reds, the red at the bottom is a hard one to work out.
He's got to go yellows. It's just this first shot, really. He'll have plenty of options for getting on the black as long as he plays this first shot well.
I wonder if he gets a good angle on the yellow to the right middle, he can nudge that red out the way so that black goes. He can get to the top end of the table. Not going to be easy though. No.
So he's a bit of a stretch. He's not the tallest guy in the world, Mark, and that was a bit of a stretch. And now Mark Farnsworth can leave that one over the pocket as his last ball to get on the black in the middle. So he can still take yellows now. So it's still open table. So
yeah, sort of worst case scenario there for Mark in terms of missing the ball, but also giving Mark a good last ball.
Yeah. You'd have to fancy him to get these. Yeah, with his positional play, he just goes about these sort of finishes the right way. Looks like he's screwing into the red. Yeah, just the yellow by the black spot just goes past the other yellow. So there's.
I think we may have just seen a bit of evidence of the shot clock playing on his mind a little bit. I think if there was no shot clock there, I think he'd have got up and just reset himself. But
yeah,
he wasn't comfortable.
No, I think, like you say, with that first shot with Mark Boyle, he might have looked into getting to the spider into that, but he was sort of thinking, "Oh, I've not got that much time." And
yeah, for those of you that don't know, you get 90 seconds after the break, and then it's a minute per shot after that.
My word. Can't believe Mark's missed that one.
No, that is a surprise. It really is.
Didn't really trouble the jaws, that one. To be fair, he's probably still slight favourite for the frame, really, with this red on this bottom right side cushion. But it's going to be tricky to move that or get on it. But
yeah, in moving it, you're moving it towards a pocket that's covered.
Yeah.
And it's away from the other reds. Very difficult.
He just took his eye off that one a little bit. It's a bit of an unusual one for Mark, that.
Yeah, you don't normally see him miss balls like that at all.
Yeah, it's just where these reds goes now, and he cues into them. Yeah, he's kept them in good pot ball position, so it's still just all about his awkward ball now. Just finding the right ball to move it with.
You'd think he'd want to do it off his neck, not this shot, but the next one.
Yeah, there's nothing obvious, really. There's nothing obvious that he can actually go into it with that's guaranteed to leave him a good shot. Especially from there, he's hit that a bit weak.
Yeah. Difficult to do. He must have been playing on the reds to the right middle, but yeah, didn't really get through that one.
No. Yeah, all he can do now is cut the one in thin, I think, and hope the check just brings him back across.
Actually, we may have been doing him a disservice.
Yeah,
he may have been playing it there.
Yeah, the top one out of the two close together just might nick in the middle, and he can bring the other one into play. Yeah.
Into the left middle. Yeah. If that's the case, it's a good angle.
Yeah, looks quite tight from here, doesn't it? But yeah, it does go.
Great shot. A fantastic result as well.
Good result, yeah. Yeah, it didn't look like those two balls went, did it?
No,
it was just like they had to go in the other corner, in the other middle.
Yeah, he definitely played like that. That wasn't. Yeah,
it's could be one that got away for Mark Farnsworth, that one.
And that could be the difference between winning and losing in a match like this.
Yeah, I think he'd be playing this with left-hand side to come between the three yellows, just below the middle pocket. Take the one over the pocket next.
It's tricky pot.
Looks like he's playing it with right, so maybe the one just bringing himself back out into the open space of the table.
Good pot.
Just made the pot slightly easier, probably playing it that way. That's really the first mistake that either of them have made that's cost them a frame. The others have been from the break, really. That's just nudged in off the near jaw, that one. He just pinched the pocket a little bit.
It was a mistake each in this frame, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Mark made it was a tricky first shot for Mark Boyle, and a bad miss from Mark Farnsworth.
Played that well, though. Not always easy to judge those shots. You can sometimes leave those a little short, and he's played that well. There's no way he's missing this, so that's going to be 2-all. Yeah, Mark Farnsworth would be thinking that's one that got away, really.
Yeah.
After Boyle missed that opening shot. See you back playing in the morning, Simon? I thought you were still in the pro, yeah?
Yeah, won my first game yesterday, late last night. And, I come back 9:30, so late nights, early mornings. So.
That's IPA for you, mate.
Yeah, I'm happy with that, though.
Yeah.
Happy to be playing.
Decent crowd now watching this final. Quite a few around.
Yeah. There's quite a good Scottish contingent down this week.
Yeah.
Quite a few more signed up this year.
Can't see many Geordies on the front row there.
No.
I think they're all out now.
Yeah. There's plenty
enjoying Cardiff.
Yeah, there are plenty here, but maybe not in the building.
No.
So dry break.
Yeah.
So you're thinking yellows here?
Yeah, I think if he can take the yellow to the right middle and just force, probably with a bit of right hand side, and force the red past the yellow, it's quite an easy finish, really. Just nudge into the red and knock it onto the side cushion and leave the yellow to the same right middle.
Yeah. The yellow to the top left does plant past the reds.
Yeah.
So that's no problem.
Yeah, it's just gonna. That's the shot. As you start to play that with a little bit of right hand side, just to straighten it up slightly. Don't really see many problems now after that. It's dot to dot, really. It's probably going to be taking the black into the right middle, isn't he? And just drop this one in now, a little soft screw.
So take the one to the top right, takes the one to the right middle.
Yeah, and then play the plant. Yeah. Just come out after the one that's still over the pocket, back out into the middle of the table, try and get straight on.
So the only thing really would be when you're playing the plant is if you're is how is the ball you're planting on, making sure that stays over the pocket, and then that shot onto your next ball.
That's it. Come back out fairly straight on the one just near the red in the middle of the table. There really isn't many problems. Whatever angle he lands on his bottom yellow, he can do different things with. The black goes in two different pockets, so
yeah.
It's amazing how one mistake can sort of cost you 2 frames. It's Mark Farnsworth was looking like being 3-1 up, and now he's looking 3-2 down.
Yeah. And all he's done is have one more shot in the dry break. Yeah,
he missed a bad ball when he should have gone 3-1 up, really.
And it could cost him 3 frames because it's Mark Boyle's break next.
Yeah, so that's it.
It's amazing how momentum in this game can swing, and you make a mistake and the balls sort of don't forgive you. And
no. When it's 2 top-class players playing like this, so much is decided just on the way the ball's split. Mark hit quite a nice break there, but he sort of left quite an easy finish, and the likes of Mark Boyle aren't going to miss those opportunities.
No, and if one falls in, it would be him with his opportunities.
So,
yeah. So for me, this is the only shot that can really go wrong. Is just not getting a good angle on the next ball.
Yeah, it's just judging the screw back, really. To be fair, he's going to come back pretty straight anyway, so it's just about the distance, really. He'll be happy between the boat line and the middle pockets, and fairly straight on the yellow. He'll be looking for, really.
Yeah, he's got quite a big area to land in.
He's going to be good on this.
Yeah.
So even if he just runs this through 3 or 4 inches, he can cut the yellow in, just come back out for the black in the same pocket. If he's straight on it, he'll just take the black in the middle. It's just off straight on this, I think, so he'd probably just push it through slightly, maybe off the cushion. was he's looking like he was a good price at 14-1 at those starting odds.
Yeah, absolutely. Interesting. Just wondering what's happening with the shot clock here.
Yeah. Mel was being quite polite about asking the crowd to be quiet, and a few other people weren't quite as polite.
Yeah.
It's definitely gone quieter though. You can actually feel it in the room.
Yeah, I feel like I've got to whisper now.
That's probably not his best shot, but
it's probably as bad as it could have finished, I think.
Yeah, he's probably going to have to stun this now and come back out for the same pocket. Still fancy him to get it, but he probably should have played a slightly better shot.
Played that really well.
Nicely done.
Yeah.
Perfect. Yeah, that's quite a routine finish for Mark. He's going to get them all day, so hopefully if he gets a big break next time, he could get himself a 2-frame lead.
Yeah. The break proving critical at this stage so far.
These two players just play a similar game, really. They're both really good with a white ball. They're both quite methodical, and they both concentrate so much on every shot. So the break is always going to be massive.
You just don't think they're going to, when the balls are wide open, you don't expect a mistake. You expect them just to, if there's, the only hope is when you're playing them is that there's a problem, they need to develop a ball and that sort of thing.
Yeah.
But
if there's not a tricky ball, these two, with their positional play, are very, very rarely not going to take the finish out.
I think that's why it was such a surprise to see Mark miss that ball 2 frames ago.
Yeah.
It's such a rarity to see him do that.
Sort of changed the match a little bit, really. Another good. Whenever I've done the side break, I always go from the other side because you've got 2 different colours.
I see.
You want to hit the second ball quite thick, so you can actually see more of the yellow ball because the way he plays it, there's 2 reds on that side, so you're more likely, I'd have thought, to catch the first red because you can't quite differentiate. But it works well for him. But
I have, when I do use the cut break, I go from the same side as Mark.
You're right,
But I never even entered my head to think the colours and the way. That's a good thought.
If you go from the other side, you can actually see because you want to hit that second ball as thick as possible.
Yeah.
You can actually see the yellow, and you can see the difference between the balls. Whereas I'm not taking it away from him because he hits it better than probably anyone I can at the minute. He's hitting them really well. But as you said earlier on, Simon, he hits it a lot harder than most people do.
I can't believe how hard he's hitting it, and he's keeping the white on the table.
Yeah. I think a lot of people would be scared to hit it that hard playing the cut break.
Yeah.
He's hitting it as hard as some people do hitting the front ball, actually.
Yeah, no, definitely.
Yeah.
And he's getting some big splits off them,
so
it's working for him.
Yeah, definitely. He worked in his money match the other week against Clint Hansen, didn't he? He had. You do get a lot of easy finishes if you hit that break nicely. But he's got a couple of little problems here, though. This isn't a gimme. Yeah,
it'd be interesting to know if the yellow at the top of the table goes to both pockets or just the right-hand one.
Obviously, it looks like it does. He's got a problem down here by the black spot as well. He's trying to get into that now.
Sort of solved one problem but created another.
Yeah, I think he was always chasing a little bit playing it that way. It was tricky to land on a ball. Still got the thing cut along the bottom cushion. Mark's reds are tricky if he doesn't get it, so it's not. Maybe looking at a safety here, actually playing off the bottom yellow on the bottom cushion here and just leaving the white in the jaws of this bottom right hand pocket. Yeah, he doesn't chase finishes, Mark Boyle. If they're not there, he'll find a little safety shot, keep his advantage. That's what he's doing now, I think.
He's played that really well.
Yeah.
Left nothing for Mark to go up.
Yeah, it's probably a total, I think, isn't it?
Looks like it, yeah.
Give Mel something to do at last.
So if it is a total, then Mark was smart looking at just one cushion on the right hand side and just rest on that red, but he's just above the yellow. sort of the one he's nearest to, maybe.
That's the shot that's going to cause less danger. It's quite a simple shot. Or the other one is to try and maybe hit the one by the black and cover the black pocket. But if he doesn't get that right, there's a lot more can go wrong. So I think your shot's a lot safer. It just doesn't nudge onto it.
Doesn't really get him an advantage, but it just maybe delays things a shot.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. At this stage, you just don't want to give anything away to your opponent, really. Just keep things simple. Quite an easy shot, like you say, just nudge onto this red.
No.
He's trying to be a little clever with that, I think. Yeah.
It looks like it almost looks like it's now sort of rocked onto touching, but it obviously didn't.
Just be off, yeah. That's given the advantage to Mark Boyle now. He's just got to work out his free shot. Still not easy though. There's no gimme from here.
Yeah, he's still got the yellow at the top of the table, which obviously definitely goes to one pocket, and he's going to have to develop the red and yellow together, you'd think.
Yeah. I think he'll be playing into these two reds down the bottom end now, trying to leave himself nice on this yellow the next shot.
This is where, again, with a shot clock, you'd probably want that extra few seconds to work this one out.
A little think about it, because it's a massive shot in the match. He's 3-2 up. He's got a free table. It's not often at this level you get a free table in the middle of a frame. But you've got to take massive advantage.
It's not worked out brilliantly for him.
That's a nice little nudge at the end, though. That's done him a massive favour, and now it's turned out quite nice. That could have been trickier.
Yeah, the yellow between the reds probably goes through the gap to the bottom left.
Yeah,
so it's actually not first glance. It was awkward, but it's actually okay.
Yeah. If he gets the white on the right hand side of the table, that'll go in, and he'll probably try and get on that next. Actually, just screw out for the one that he's straight on now in the bottom corner.
Looks like if he gets, so if he takes these two at the bottom of the, it's not. Oh, he's probably just straight enough to be able to screw back out off the one cushion, I think.
Yeah.
I was just looking further ahead. Maybe he could cut the yellow into the left middle and just screw up past. Well, he's gone straight up to it now. Has he popped the black?
Oh, he's got lucky there. That's a right result, but I don't know why he's done that. He didn't need to take that risk.
Yeah, I was surprised. I thought he would clear the two at the bottom and then show a little bit more precision with his.
That he was trusting to look a little bit there. He just sort of more hit and hope with that, and he's turned out plumb. He's just got to soft screw this now, and he's got the frame. He's soft screw this and sort of land on the line, take the one in the middle, and take the one in the corner, and he's got the black over the pocket.
Yeah, it couldn't have worked out better, to be honest.
Yeah. Even if he's got a bit more angle than it looks, he can just come up for this the bottom one, and he's still got a lot of table to screw back up to take the yellow in the middle anyway. So yeah, no, that surprised me. That's not Mark's normal game to play shots like that.
The reason it surprised me is that his positional play is normally so good that I didn't, and there was plenty of room around the back of the black to get on this yellow. That I didn't think he'd need to do it.
So he didn't think he could quite hold it for the middle, so he's just come out for this one. He's just got to judge the screw back now, but he's got sort of 2 or 3 feet to land in here, really. There's not a lot can go wrong here, really. It's looking like a 2-frame lead.
Yeah. Just needs to drop the yellow in, and the black's there waiting. So
yeah, I was a little surprised how he went about that, but he's got away with it. And, like you say, that Mark made one mistake. Mark Farnsworth made one mistake at 2-1 up, and now suddenly he's 4-2 down.
Yeah, all he's done is have one dry break and one shot from a snooker.
Yeah. So to be fair, he'll be disappointed that he didn't get out that snooker. It was quite a routine shot for Mark, really. He's trying to be a little bit clever with it, just to land Mark Boyle on the difficult side, and it's a bit unlucky. He missed it by a fraction.
Yeah, but it's his break, and he's already shown today that he'll stay positive, and wait for his next chance.
Yeah.
Believe he'll get enough chances.
It used to be in the old days the finals went to first to eights, but we're still on first to sevens, so it's still 4-2 now behind. He's got to win this 5-2 from now, so he's got it all to do.
Yeah. It always seems a lot when you say it that way round, but when you're out there playing, you're just thinking the next frame.
So you just take each chance as it comes, and you think to yourself, if I get to the table in every frame, I'm going to win every frame. So
yeah. It's looking dry again.
Yeah. That's actually not looking too bad, actually. There's no first pot, what I can see.
Yeah.
Really. Yeah.
Not a lot for him to go at.
No.
You may find him just playing some sort of containing safety.
Yeah, I can't see any ball that actually pots from there. I think he might have to play a little safety off the readies next to, as you say, Simon, just nudge back into it.
Leave Mark a similar sort of problem. Which one of them wants to push the boat out first, probably.
Yeah, he didn't hit that break too well, really. There wasn't many balls that were really looking like going in pockets. Sometimes you can be unlucky and 3 or 4 balls are looking like going in.
No, he's looking a little bit more aggressive than we were talking about.
I'm not sure what sort of shot he's looking at there. He's looking at the one near the middle left-hand pocket. It doesn't really look to be going anywhere to me. Unless he can get through past that and get to one by the black. Yeah, it's
he's just playing the safety
different
off
sort of safety than we thought, but that opens the table up a little bit. You don't want to give Mark Farnsworth open shots at balls.
First glance, he's got one awkward yellow, but he's got a way of getting into that from the bottom. There's a yellow at the bottom of the table that could potentially go into it with.
Yeah.
So, and then all the other yellows have got a pocket.
Definitely, yeah.
So,
it's a bit of a strange shot. I think he was trying to hit that a bit harder, to be honest, and leave the white further towards the corner pocket.
Maybe a fraction thinner, fraction
Maybe
harder.
He's just thinking 4-2 up. I'll try and force him into going for something difficult.
So I think he'll have the angle to screw across now, or come off the top cushion, whichever way he sees it.
Probably coming off the top cushion is more likely to nudge the red away. That's probably the safer shot, but it's probably harder to judge.
Yeah, it's not a natural angle.
No. But that's the shot where you're definitely going to be on the yellow. It's only just off straight.
The only problem with that is if you just catch the yellow, you could leave yourself nothing.
Yeah, it can be tricky. He's got quite a big pocket in the far corner. He can get if this doesn't quite go right, he can still get control in the far corner with his yellow on the cushion. So that's what he's relying on now. I think he's going to have to play the cushion ball now. I think, and just maybe in off the red.
Yeah, if it doesn't go in, he's got a little bit of control. If it does, then he's got the frame on.
Yeah. He's looking at the left-hand one of the 3, whether it sneaks past, but it looks a bit tight. Just heard a 30 seconds call there. That seemed a bit quick.
Yeah, it did.
Oh, that's must have been a different table.
Oh. So you played in plenty of these finals. Has the shot clock ever been an issue for you?
Yeah, a couple of times, Simon. Yeah, it does. It's a great shot.
Lovely shot.
Yeah. Certainly does affect your thinking a couple of times. I got time fouled in the Worlds last year in the semi-finals. Certain shots you can just catch out a little bit when you think you just need that extra bit of thinking time.
Yeah, you end up rushing a shot.
Yeah. It always seems that the second 30 goes a lot quicker than the first 30.
Yeah.
No, it doesn't really happen, but that's the way you feel.
Yeah.
Yeah, when you played all tournament, not on a shot clock, and then suddenly you're on it, it's a totally different mindset.
Yeah.
Shot again. I don't think the yellow goes past the red, so he's going to be taking the pocket one next and screwing out. And if he just judges this nicely.
Yeah, a bit like Mark's in the previous frame. He just needs to screw sort of straight back down the line. And
it's just good cueing, isn't it? Yeah. Just anywhere out in the middle of the table past the red and black. You'd like to be on the one on the left-hand side next, if possible. Looks like he's topping it, actually. Yeah, he's not his best shot.
A little bit short.
Yeah. Need a bit more side on that. Get the cue ball maybe 6 inches to the right of where it is.
It looks like he's
from the camera angle.
Yeah, it looks like he's still lining up the one to the left. And sort of screw it on and off the cushion.
Yeah, just like you say on these tables, soft screw, you can get a lot of reaction. So I think that's the shot. Just soft screw it with a bit of right hand side. Shot. Yeah, just punch it out now for the black and gets him back in the match. Bad safety shot by Mark Boyle really in this frame. He was any time your opponent breaks and you're in the frame, you've got to be a bit more careful about it. You're just happy to be at the table, and he just played a bit of a nothing shot really. Yeah,
and if he was throwing down the gauntlet to Mark, he's well, I won't say he's passed it, but you know, he's 2 shots away from passing it.
He'll be happy enough with that. If you had this black every frame you ever played, you'd be more than happy. So
yeah. But sports psychology, so it sort of throws it, comes into it, because you know you should be better on it.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. He'll just play this soft little screw into the red, touch the right hand side, and I don't think he misses these. Bit of a cheer as well. There's a few people got money on him, I think.
Yes, I think there must be a fair bit of interest in the crowd with the bookies.
Yeah, there's a bit of a crowd gathering down there, I think, now. For this time of night, must be gone midnight, I think, Simon, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, midnight.
Not too far behind schedule, though, really. It's been a good day.
Yeah, I think it was a scheduling nightmare to figure out how to get... We've got quite a few more matches this year with numbers up a little bit, so... The worry was this final would end up being too late, but
we've had a few in the past that have been sort of 2, 3 in the morning, haven't we?
Yeah, so. And this isn't too bad. This is probably in an ideal world maybe finishing at midnight, but this is okay.
Yeah.
Must be. I've not gone this far in a tournament, but it must be pretty tiring to be. You're pretty much on the table all day. Not many breaks.
Yeah, definitely. It's a nice break. Bit unlucky. Yeah, definitely. You're virtually playing match after match really at this sort of stage. You'll play a match on maybe the Friday night or the Saturday morning, and then after that, if you get through to the last 32, it's virtually non-stop. So
yeah,
you want a couple of a couple of quick matches and maybe get a bit of a break. But
yeah, I've been out for lunch and dinner and popped out the arena, and I feel like every time I've walked back in, Mark's still on the table.
Yeah.
Or both Marks are still on the table. So it sort of is a long day.
Because especially Mark Boyle plays quite a methodical game, even when he wins his matches 7-3, 7-2, 7-3, 7-4.
Yeah.
They're not like half-hour, 45-minute matches, so he's on there for an hour and a half most games. So
yeah.
It's not like Shep Hughes, if he wins 1-7-2, it's like half an hour. Again, he's rushed that a little bit for Mark. I think he could have took his time slightly more on that.
Yeah, maybe he probably is conscious of the shot clock. And
yeah. If he's left Mark on this bottom straight red, I think that could be curtains for this frame.
Yeah, Mark Boyle would have liked to have gone reds, but he didn't have an option.
No.
Difficult to tell whether he's on that red or not.
Yeah, it looks like he might just be, but if not, he's got to go yellows and take the trickier route. Yeah, he's on it.
He's on it.
Yeah. Doesn't really look any serious problems, does he? As long as he's got a bit of an angle on this.
Yeah, the three reds on the right hand side need good positional play, but they're all open, and once you get into the area, it shouldn't be too much of a problem.
He is quite straight on this red though, so he might have to forego a bit of position just on his next ball and take a trickier putt. Yeah, that's an unusual mistake by Mark Boyle, that one, missing that plant. He seemed to rush into that one a little bit.
Yeah, he was not just making a plant, he was trying to develop a ball at the bottom of the table as well.
Yeah.
And there was a lot going on in the shot, and so he's just on the one through the yellows to the right middle.
He's just going to roll this in gently and take the one to the bottom left corner. and then screw back out off the one to the bottom right corner. So it's pretty much dot to dot, really.
Yeah, just leave a good angle on the one to the bottom right corner to go up the table.
Yeah. Yeah, you can see from camera one, he's dead straight on that now, so he's just going to probably screw this back an inch, leave himself fairly not too thin on the one to the bottom right that he can just screw up off using the side cushion.
Yeah, around the back of the yellows.
Yeah,
yeah.
He'll just come back an inch off this. That's fine.
Yeah, absolutely perfect.
Yep. Looking like 4-all.
Doesn't want to finish straight on the last red.
No,
so he should be nowhere near it.
But no, anywhere past the line, it's game over. This. Be more than happy with that.
Absolutely perfect. Yeah.
Yep. Little drag with left hand side now. Just come back out.
It's amazing as each frame has come to a conclusion, the room's almost dropped in volume a little bit.
It's quite quiet now, isn't it?
Yeah.
I think the bar must have closed.
Yeah.
Be a little bit disappointed, Mark Boyle, to be 4-all, because he's had the first chance in a couple of the last 3 frames and just a couple of loose shots.
From 4-2 he's had. He could have pushed ahead.
Well, it wasn't a chance in the frame before. It was just a bad safety, really, wasn't it? He just rushed into the shot a bit.
Yeah, I think he probably overcomplicated the safety maybe, and probably just the easy containing shot was on.
Especially at 4-2 up, there's no point pushing the boat out.
But he'll be frustrated as well that he's hit a good break and been left with an awkward plant. You expected him to make it, but it wasn't. He could have been left on something nicer than that after a good break.
Yeah. Wonder if Mark will change his break slightly now, because his last 2 haven't been really good, particularly good. And
he's gone close to the top left. He potted the white in the top left first frame, and he's gone close a couple of times since.
Gone middle this time. Just got back into the match at 4-all, and that's a killer blow, really.
Yeah, well, you pot the white at this level, you don't expect to get back to the table.
80% of the time it's frame over, really.
So what's he looking at here? Probably going reds?
I think he'll be going reds, yeah. If the black goes, that's a problem he doesn't have to worry about, so he won't be worrying about the black as long as that goes, and he'll just be...
I don't think it does. I think he's going to pop the yellow and then go reds.
Yeah, he's going to open the black up first shot. It actually looks like it might sneak past at this angle, doesn't it? But it must be quite tight, so he's going to try and solve that problem first shot.
There's nothing else that really needs to be solved, so maybe if it is a half a pocket, then there's no need. You might as well develop
it now. Yeah.
You can see that he's not comfortable in terms of. I think he feels that he might be under a bit of time pressure.
Yeah, he did, like you were saying earlier, Simon. You do get that extra 30 seconds after the break, so that was quite handy for him there. Give him a bit more thinking time. It
looks like he's wanted to go down on the shot a couple of times and then sort of come up and not quite sure which way he wants to go.
Yeah.
Nearly a disaster.
Could have gone wrong, but he's okay. I think he'd like to take the one across the bottom rail in off the red, just while he's got the big pocket. So he'd probably take the one just past the boat line now, run through, and take the one on the cushion across into the bigger pocket. After that, I can't see any problems really, can you?
No. It's just a case of working his way through it and not making any silly errors.
He stunned it. Thought he might have rolled that through and taken that next, so he still had the one over the pocket, just drop it in straight, and then he'd come out off the one over the pocket.
I wonder if he's going to play the 2 on the rail as a plant. I thought he was going to do
that, really. Yeah, I suppose that's an option. Yeah.
The problem if he doesn't, then when he's going to be finishing. So.
No, he's just going to be taking it down the rail.
Down the rail,
take the plant now and then take it down the rail. But
he'll be fairly straight on it.
Yeah, exactly. You can't leave a big angle, so you're
Yeah.
going to be leaving a longer shot on your last 2 reds. think he could have got rid of that problem a bit sooner.
Yeah,
because of where those 2 yellows are, you can't leave a big angle on it.
So he's going to be probably leaving himself the red to the bottom right, but long and straight from quite close to the cushion.
Yeah. He might be able to force a bit of an angle out.
He was probably thinking that if he could get somewhere near straight on this plant, he could have played on the one down the rail next and left the one over the left pocket to come back down, so that... Yeah. Slightly different order, but...
I think he's made these trickier now than they could be, actually. He's going to have a missable ball in this finish, whereas 3 or 4 shots ago he shouldn't have had a missable ball, really. He could even get rid of these bottom 2 now and leave that one for last and have probably just an easier shot on the black.
Well, I was just thinking he could pop the 2 at the bottom, and when he goes up the table, try and get on the one on the rail before the one on the left pocket.
Yeah. And
worst case scenario, he has to he'll be playing the black from distance rather than the red.
Yeah, he's done what we thought. So he's going to have the black as the more distant shot.
Yeah. I think he probably wanted a bit more angle on this to maybe get on the top rail, but I don't think he can.
No, he's going to... The cushion ball's his last ball, and he's just going to have to leave a longish black if he doesn't leave much angle. So thing is, with the shot after this, you can try and be a bit clever with it and leave yourself snookered, or you just leave yourself bang straight, and then the black's really missable then.
Yeah.
If you leave it straight and you're taking the black from the bottom cushion, under pressure at 4 and 4 apiece in the final, it's missable. So
yeah, it'd be interesting to see how he goes about this, how close he tries to get.
Looks pretty good.
Yeah. But it is going to be a long straight black from the rail.
Yeah. He's just going to bounce it off 2 or 3 inches. He could try and force it through this with right hand side and get a bit closer, but I don't think he'll risk that.
Yeah, that's a shot in the club, but maybe not at 4-4 in the final.
No. Yeah, I'd be happy to get the white 3 or 4, maybe 2-3 inches off the cushion now. Pretty straight.
But again, as you said a couple of frames ago, if you're offered if he gets straight on the black, a couple of inches off the cushion, if you were offered that before the frame started, you'd take it.
Yeah. That's exactly what he's done. No heroics, and just cue this in. Just wiping his cue down, just getting himself ready for the shot. I think he'll stun this in. I don't think he'll roll it. I think he'll stun this.
Just get to cue through it a bit more.
Yeah. You can actually roll them on these cloths, though, can't you? You can trust the cloths quite well, can't you?
Yeah.
But I think 90% of players would stun this in, just trust the cueing.
Yeah, I always feel more comfortable punching a ball in than sort of rolling it in.
Yeah, he's definitely digging down. The only thing can go wrong is he cues across this with a bit of side.
No problem.
Sweet.
So Mark's just going to leave the arena for a couple of minutes, and Mark's going to follow him.
Been quite a quick final, really. But obviously the shot clock makes quite a big difference, because these two players do like to think about shots, especially Mark Boyle.
Yeah, but then I watched a couple of matches on the stream earlier, and there was, the balls weren't splitting open, and there was even, I know there was no shot clock, but there was quite drawn out frames because of it. But there've been some good splits, and
there's been open frames.
Yeah.
There's been a finish on every frame really after the first 1 or 2 shots.
Yeah.
I think Mark Farnsworth he was 4-2 down and he wasn't at the table. I think he'd be sort of reasonably happy at 4-2 down. He'd probably take being 5-4 down. So
yeah,
he's still in the match. So it's his break next.
Yeah, as you say, he's sit and wait for his next frame, next chance. Really,
yep.
He needs to win 3 more. 3 more chances is what we'd be thinking. Panning around the room.
He let one go earlier on. That was just that one ball he missed, and That's the one mistake he's made, really.
Yeah. It's strange because Mark Boyle's probably made one more mistake, but he's a frame ahead.
Yeah, that's it. You do get that's our sport in it, unfortunately.
Although, I say one more mistake. Mark Farnsworth has the white when he's gone in off. He's screwed straight in off and stunned straight in off.
That's a killer in this game.
Yeah.
In these rules,
you feel hard
you
done by.
You don't expect to get back to the table.
Yeah, you feel hard done by when the white gets kicked in off the break, but when you've stunned it straight in and screwed it straight in.
Happened to me in a decider last night.
You screwed it straight in? Or
I got kicked in. Yeah. I did a lovely break and potted 2 or 3 balls, and another ball just came and knocked the white in and just left drop-ins. So.
Absolute killer.
Yeah. It is frustrating.
Yeah, well, that's a frustrating game. So I think that's because of the match play element. When your opponent's playing well and getting the chances and playing and taking them, you have to sit there and take it. You can't respond. Whereas in other sports and other games, you can always do something.
Yeah, it's plus you don't always have the same opportunities. You can pull out a world-class finish with 5 or 6 difficult shots, and then they break next frame and have 6 simple shots. It's not like we're all going up and doing the same stuff all the time.
Yeah.
Obviously, some days you get it in your favour, and other days you have to do the difficult stuff. But we're not all doing the same thing. That's the difference between golf and darts and things like that. Where you can win a match 7-6 or lose a match 7-6, and you've done 6 awesome finishes, and the other guys had 7 simple finishes. That's just the way the game we play.
Yeah, which in some ways, as a player, it's frustrating, but from a spectacle, it makes it exciting.
That's it. Yeah.
Looked like he
potted 4 balls this time.
They just caught the first ball on that one.
Yeah.
And they still split really well.
That's a great result, yeah. He's just had a close look at that red by the black, but I'm pretty sure it goes. I don't see a problem there, to be honest.
Yeah, every ball again has got a pocket, and
it's
just a case of getting on the balls. And
he's just going to take the one in the right middle and just nudge the other red down. Hopefully leave an angle where he can maybe screw out into the gap between and get on the 2 reds just below the black spot. And I think it's plain sailing, really.
Yeah, I think that's the key, isn't it? Just making sure the 2 below the black spot gets on them okay.
Yeah, he's still looking at that quite closely. Maybe it's tighter than it looks from here, Simon, but it looks like it flies in, really, doesn't it? From the camera.
It does. It looks.
Even if you look at camera 1, there's a massive gap between the red and black.
It looks fairly comfortable. Yeah.
Yeah, it flies in that, I think. No, he's on that one now. That's even better. He's through the gap now. That means it's unmissable finish now. To be on that one, it's just left it virtually unmissable finish.
Yeah, very hard to see how he could only by missing something careless, I think.
Yeah, it's dream break really at this stage. 5-4 up in a final. Pretty much dot to dot.
Probably would have wanted to be straighter on the one in the middle.
I think he'll take the top one of the 2 now, just gently off the far jaw. He could take the bottom one and screw back round. It's just how much angle it is on the top one. Whether he can hold it.
If he can play the top one and stay straight on either of the 2 reds on the right hand side, then it's probably the right way. I guess
just pinch the pocket slightly, aim for far jaw, and just hold the white, I think.
Yeah, I think playing the bottom one and coming round. If you finished low, it would have been poor.
Yeah,
would have been awkward.
Yeah, he was always going to land straight on one of the 2. Really has been a dot to dot finish. This to be on that ball first made a massive difference. It was still going to be fairly easy, but he's taken them nicely. I think this. Mark's not played on the IPA that much, has he? But when he has, when he's played up in Glasgow and stuff, he's not really done that well. But
yeah, I think I can't remember if he won an amateur event or not.
Yeah, I think he did. Yeah, I don't think he's ever done that well on the actual Open, has he?
On the Open, no. Yeah, I remember. I think 2 years ago, I was in the section of the draw with him, and I was gearing myself up because I'd won my match, gearing myself up to play him, but he'd lost the match before. So I don't think he's gone particularly far in it. But everyone in pool knows how good he is, and this isn't a surprise to anyone.
I'm sure a lot of people north of the border got on that 14-1. So
and probably more to start with. Yeah.
They'll be ready to check the Coles account slightly and just have a little look at it and see it jumping up in a little while, hopefully, if gets one more frame. Yeah, you're just going to bounce this off one cushion, out for the black in the opposite middle. Maybe a touch of left-hand side just to take him away from the yellow.
Yeah, no, doesn't want to be anywhere near that, really.
Yeah, he's going to be fine here. There you go, a bit of left. Yeah.
And this should be no problem. Again, the room just drops down a little bit in volume.
Yeah, it's not often you see with that side break that you put that many balls. Usually you get 2 in, maybe 1, and he's putted 4 balls off that break, I think, and left absolute rolling finish. It's certainly working for him.
Yeah, it really is an impressive break. Slightly unconventional with the pace he's hitting it at. But I've noticed that the second ball break seems to be a break that a few Scottish players like to.
I think because of obviously the Scottish players are all Blackball through and through. You get there's quite a few players on this tour have come from World Rules and things, and the in-off's not as big a disaster at World Rules because it's just the next player just goes to the table, but in-off at these rules is absolutely massive. So I think a lot of the Scottish boys think it takes the in-off out of the equation a little bit, the side break. So I think that's why a lot of people are doing it. But when it's working like it is for Mark, you can't knock what he's doing.
So Mark hasn't broke well in this match, so it's critical for him to break well now. Oh, that white was close again.
Looks like a good split, though.
But it's worked out well.
Not a gimme first shot.
No.
Might have to cut the yellow in on the side cushioning off the other yellow for the big pocket.
It's a pretty thin shot, isn't it?
Yeah. To be fair, he's probably on a red straight into this bottom left-hand corner. I didn't see that at first. He's just in between the red and black.
We could take the red at the top of the table, dropping it in as well.
Yeah, there's
maybe reds are the way.
Yeah, I think he'd definitely be on reds. Yeah. Oh. That's right. That was more missable. I think he should have took the straight one there. I think that's game over. I think he rushed that a little bit actually. He doesn't normally play those shots that quick. I think he maybe should have took the straight one to the bottom left to guarantee he was on reds, and then screwed back slightly, and that would have been less missable.
He probably would have been slightly better on it, and he still would have had a ball to play on off it. So
I think that's his last shot, to be fair.
Yeah, I think he thinks it's his last shot for certain.
It's an unusual mistake, really, for Mark. That he's put his cue down. I think he's fearing the worst. He's going to have to take the pocket ball now, I think.
Yeah, I was just thinking it'd be interesting to see when he takes the pocket ball.
I don't think he really needs to go into that ball. But could take the one he's closest to. A little soft screw on it.
Yeah. Trickier pot, more of a missable pot than you would have expected with the way the balls were.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm surprised Mark missed that ball. 6-4 down. If he got the break and dish there, 6-5, it's game on.
Yeah, pressure's on then. Yeah.
Yeah, he's played that well.
Yeah. I think that red in the middle probably goes through the yellows, and he's got the red to the right hand side as well.
Balls here, yeah. He's left himself plumb on 3 balls. He can take the right hand one of the 4 to this bottom corner. He can take the one to the middle he just called. Or so many options now. That's. I think we'll be handing the trophy over shortly, mate.
Yeah, let's warm Kev up for the presentation.
on a good run of form, Mark, at the minute. Won a big money match the other week against Clint, and now looks like he's taking home the first IPA Tour of the year.
Yeah, and he's obviously got another tournament to play in tomorrow, the IPA Amateur.
What was he to win both? Was he
40 to 1 special to win both?
Well, looks a good bet now, doesn't it?
It does.
Because I don't think he's the sort of person who's going to go out drinking and celebrating his victory, is he?
No, he'll be ready and raring to go tomorrow morning.
Yeah, just run this through now. Try and get as straight as he can on the one to middle. As long as he runs through this 4 or 5 inches, get straight. That's his last barrier, really. Yeah,
it's just this is how he normally plays. He's very makes sure he knows exactly where he wants to be.
Yeah,
very precise. Takes his time.
Yeah, so those millimetres can make a difference, and some players just don't think about it and just run out of position slightly, and it makes the difference.
That looks to be perfect.
Yeah, he might just snick off the black here and just slide past the black and just leave it straight.
Yeah, the only thing that could go wrong is just to sort of sit on top of the black.
Yeah,
and just needs to push through it.
Yeah, I don't think as long as he hits it gently enough, he'll just slide off the black. Yeah. A few options here, actually. He can play for this in probably 4 different pockets. But
yeah.
I think he just bounce it out for the top right.
Yeah. Take all the movement out of the white.
Yeah. Doesn't need any side, just needs to judge the pace.
The room's gone almost silent.
Yeah, that's
It's amazing how quick, how much that's dropped.
He's just making 100% sure.
30 seconds.
He's waiting for Mel to call the 30 seconds. I think Mark lost the first final last year, didn't he? He lost in the...
Yes, he did to Dan Davey.
No. I said he could play for 4 pockets, and that was the one pocket I didn't count.
Yeah, I did. Does it go to the bottom right?
It must do. Yeah, that's what he's played for. Yeah. That's the.
I wonder whether he just
the one I wouldn't have even thought of. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
It's unbelievable. I don't know why he's even played for that pocket.
It's a surprise.
Yeah.
I mean, it must have been a full pocket. You wouldn't have played for that pocket if it wasn't a full pocket.
Yeah, so many options there. It was untrue.
Yeah. Well, are we in for a twist here then? Can Mark should win this frame now? It may.
Yeah, there's a bit of murmur in the room all of a sudden. It's all changed. I can't believe he's definitely put a bit of unwanted side on that. But why would he play for that pocket? He had so many easier options.
Yeah, I can't believe he's played for that pocket really. But I'm even more shocked that he missed the pot once he had played. Once he had done so.
It's amazing that I said he could play for 4 pockets, and that was one I didn't even think of. It's just must have just felt more comfortable to play his last red with the screw inside to play for that pocket.
He's hit it.
Bit fortunate there, but still should be Mark's frame really.
Yeah,
Mark Farnsworth's frame.
Yeah, Mark wasn't when he played the snooker. He wasn't trying to get an extra shot. It was more about just developing the ball that was on the rail.
Oh, he's called a foul. He mustn't have asked for a total there. He's called a foul. That's a schoolboy error by Mark Boyle there.
Wow,
you don't see that very often.
No.
I think
so. Even when you've got a referee, you still got to ask for the total.
Yeah. He must have just thought, I'm whacking this. I'm never, but you just never know. You just.
Yeah, he missed it. He was trying to come off and hit it on the way down, and he hit it on the way back up. So.
30 seconds.
Two strange mistakes by Mark all of a sudden there.
Yeah, and maybe it's similar scenes to the semi-final. Mark would have thought against Ben that he was going to be out, but he was sort of got away with one there. So,
and it's his break next, I think, isn't it?
No, it's Mark Boyle's next. Mark Farnsworth won the lag, so.
just a little soft screw off this one now. Just make sure you don't catch that middle jaw. I think we all thought we'd be heading off home, Simon.
Yeah, I was starting to think about my bed, but we've got a few more minutes in this yet.
It's one of those that the pool doesn't give you many chances, and
I think I said earlier in the match, I said that the pool gods sort of they sort of kick you when you make a mistake.
yeah, definitely once you've missed a chance like that, there's no guarantee you're going to get another one.
You know, it's not unrealistic to say that Mark Boyle's one dry break away from losing the match now.
Yeah, definitely. I think his mind just went against him there. He just sort of started thinking the match was over and he still had a little bit to do. Missed the ball by a long way.
Yeah.
But as we said, it was the positional shot the shot before. Don't think he needed to be playing the black in that pocket into a slightly tighter pocket than some of the others.
I wonder, I mean, he could have been playing for it. Maybe it was a little bit tight and he was playing for it at the bottom left and he just absolutely overhit the positional shot by a long way. But, I mean, I don't think that was the case.
No, I think it must have flew in and he just cued that black badly.
Yeah.
He'd put that 90, 98 out of 100.
And the pool gods have done what we said.
There you go.
And he's come up
Exactly
dry.
like you said, yeah. So the reds are looking plumb. Even the yellows, if this bottom yellow goes past the red, the yellows are probably just as easy, probably easier actually. But, if that yellow doesn't go, it's going to be going reds.
I think that yellow does go.
No, it's probably going yellows then.
Yeah.
No, he's going reds. Taking the one to the right middle first.
That may be awkward though.
Yes. Looks like he left it a little tricky on certain shots now.
It's difficult to tell exactly. I don't know whether he can see the one nearest the pocket or not.
Yeah, he's taking the one to the right corner now and just leaving himself on the one on the cushion.
Yeah, no, well, it's not too tricky then. I was wondering whether he had anything easy to go
just
at.
Just to get on this one on the bottom cushion, really, isn't it? The angle he leaves on this.
Yeah. He'd want to play on it now. So is he got to come across the yellow?
Yeah, he's going to come above the yellow, I think,
Yeah.
just to leave himself a cut on it. Just judging the pace, really. He doesn't want the white to be on the cushion, but he doesn't want to be too thin on it. Bit of a stretch as well.
I was about to say, has he got to be careful to miss the yellow?
It's unusual this for Mark. He's rushed into a couple of these shots. Normally he works these finishes out perfectly. His positional play is spot on. Maybe it's just the shot clock.
Yeah,
He
I
can
think
still get this finish, but it's a lot harder now than it could have been.
Yeah, I wonder if he's got the angle to take the one up to the top now and come back for the bottom one, or whether he's going to have to maybe leave the bottom one till his last ball.
Yeah, he's got a few options now, hasn't he? It just depends on the angle, like you say. Do you run through, or do you just drop it in to leave to the right middle? It's like he's running through.
But I don't think. Yeah, I was going to say you don't want to be playing the bottom one to get on the top one.
No.
So yeah, but now the bottom one will be his last ball, or maybe he can get on it now. It's difficult to see.
No, he looks pretty straight on this, which is making his life a little bit awkward.
Yeah.
Because the red only goes in two pockets.
If he's dead straight, he's really bad.
Yeah. Maybe he can just pinch the pocket a bit and just come past the yellows and get past to the right middle. Then just stun down to his bottom red. And just get past the middle pocket. Enough to stun down. Yeah, he's topping it, so he must be able to slide past these two yellows. Yeah, that's a good shot.
He's got to avoid that yellow when he pots the.
I think he's got a soft screw this. I don't think he can avoid it by topping it. I think he's got a soft screw through the gap.
Which makes this more tricky.
Yeah, I I'm sure the angle he's got, if he tops it, he's hitting the yellow. There's not a big gap to land in with the soft screw.
No.
Yeah, it's probably tricky as he could have landed there, really. If he'd have been a bit straighter on it, he could have screwed it deeper and took the red into the right corner.
Yeah.
I don't think he can get enough on it to get in the red in the right corner. Yeah, he's played it through the gap.
He's played your first shot and he's played it well, yeah. Overhit it a fraction, but he's just got to make the pot.
Yeah, he should come up past that yellow. That's just to the right of the black spot, so it's just all about the pot, really. Massive shot.
Yeah.
Definitely missable at this stage. Fancy him to get it.
Yeah.
30 seconds.
But you would normally fancy him to get it. It's just the way he's gone about this finish is a bit unlike him. So maybe a bit more pressure on it than you'd expect.
Yep.
Great shot.
Crowd's getting into it now, Simon.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's one of the best around at the minute, Mark, for those pressure shots that he needs to get.
Yeah, there's even more pressure, I think, he would have known when he came to the table that should have been a routine finish.
Yeah.
So when he's put more pressure on himself by leaving it awkward as well. The thing I like about watching Mark and you're very similar is that, you know, that didn't go to plan, but you wouldn't know by his mannerisms around the table.
No.
He's just sort of, right, how do I reassess?
You just have to reassess. Like, that's the exact word. Perfect word for the situation, just find a new way, find a new route and just go about it.
Yeah.
Just try and get it as right as you can.
So can Mark find a good break?
Let's go, champ.
Fancy him putting a yellow here.
Oh,
Jesus.
and the previous two times he's gone in off, he's done it directly. That time it was kicked in off, which a bit more hard done by.
It's not nice when that happens.
No.
It's not nice at all. It's
Giving you some flashbacks to yesterday.
I left him easy on this, don't worry.
Yeah.
It's got a little bit to do here.
So
I'm just sort of looking at it now. I think he'd be fancying the yellows, maybe. No, because the yellow on the right hand side's a little tricky.
So maybe does he develop the yellow on the right hand side, then go yellows?
Yeah. The red in the middle of the table between the two yellows could be a problem. So he's going to clip off that and try and move that red. Yeah, that's a good shot. Well, it's
Yeah, it's a clever shot. Everything goes now, so just needs to work out his route.
yeah, it's pretty basic, really. Just keeping control of that white ball.
Just having a look around the arena, I think we've got one last match in progress as well.
That game's been going on for ages down there, and there's been a bit of needle in that game as well. I was watching that earlier on.
Yeah.
They were playing before I came up here, and we've had 12 frames up here.
Yeah. I think it started a long time before this match started. I saw the match go on. So.
Yeah, there's been a little bit of needle in there. That's not Mark's best shot. He wanted to be straight on the yellow to the middle. No, he's got a big bounce. He's left his work a little bit tricky.
I wonder if he's forced into the one in the middle of the table. Can you see enough of that?
To the left corner.
Top left corner. Tricky white with that.
Yeah, you could nudge your yellow safe, or you're just not sure.
Yeah, I think that's what he's looking at. Yeah, there's some pressure on this ball.
Yeah, I think he'll be running past his own yellow and maybe flicking the red towards the right corner and just leading himself on the yellow to the opposite middle. He's flicked his yellow. Yeah, he's just got away with that. He could have easily knocked that safe.
Yeah, he'll be happy with that.
Yeah, he's had a good result. It could have gone wrong. Yeah, just screw this back 2 inches now. He's back in prime position then, really. Not giving him a lot of room in that other table, are they?
No, it's crowded around. So on the screen, it's the table closest to the stream table as well. So yeah, just screw this back 3 or 4 inches now for the other. His opposite yellow to the opposite middle, and he should be back in prime position. Looking pretty good now. Yeah. So would you come down for the two, take the one to the left middle and stay on the one to the top left, or would you leave that to your last ball?
I think you'd like to leave it to last, but if you've got to take it, you've got to take it. It's one of those. It's probably it's definitely the easiest shot to get on the black. If you leave that to last and you're on it, you're going to be on the black.
Yeah.
It's just the angle he's got now. If he can just stun this out a little bit.
30 seconds.
If he can't, he might have to leave it to a bit of a trickier shot to get on the black. And he's taking it now, so he's going to have a slightly trickier shot to get on the black.
Yeah.
Still a bit of work to do in this frame now.
Yeah. He's, the whole way through this visit, he's given Mark Farnsworth a little bit of hope that he might get back to the table.
Yeah. No handshake in that game down there.
Yeah.
30 seconds.
But definitely a bit of needle. Not sure what's gone on.
Yeah, something odd's happened somewhere.
Yeah, he just needs to judge the screw back. Not easy though.
No, he's a bit awkward on both balls.
Yeah. Just off straight on the one by the black spot and just off straight on the other one as well.
I wonder if he may play. Would he take the one to the bottom left and come across and cannon the red? Maybe.
Things can go wrong there, can't they?
Yeah, but if he takes the one to the bottom right, it's very difficult to get on the other one.
Yeah. It's quite hard to see the angle. I wonder if he can just soft screw the one to the left corner enough just to hold. Just with real very soft screw shot. He's taking this one. I think he's trying to come around the back of it. No,
he got into
a
that
lot
really
more
well.
on it. Oh.
Yeah.
You wouldn't. The angle we saw, you didn't think you could get that side of the yellow, did you?
No.
Looked like the white was sort of heading towards the bottom cushion.
But he's not going to get good on the black.
No.
He's almost all but guaranteed to be on the black, but it's going to be a pressure ball. It's going to be a lot harder than the one he missed 2 frames ago. And of course,
all he can do is pot this and bounce white 3 or 4 inches off the cushion.
Yeah.
It's definitely going to be missable black.
30 seconds.
Yeah, and this yellow's a little bit of a stretch as well. Awkward queuing.
Yeah, that's all he could do. I think you'd have to say, even under pressure, this is an 8 out of 10 for Mark. But not under pressure, it's probably a 9.5 out of 10. Under pressure, it's probably an 8 out of 10, isn't it?
Yeah, there's definitely hope for Mark Farnsworth in the chair. This is a lot harder than the one he's already missed, which probably makes this even harder. The fact that he has had one before.
30 seconds.
Doesn't miss many balls, this guy.
No.
Probably put the kiss of death on him now. There we go. Nice cheer from the crowd there. I think a few people had some money on that one. Yeah, he made that finish quite tricky in the end, but he deserved the win. He's played some good pool.
Yeah, it was a great final as well, with lots of twists and turns and some good finishes and some mistakes, which always makes it exciting. So bear with us.
14-1 winner at the start of the tournament. That was good odds for anyone who got on.
Absolutely. So we'll be handing over to our chairman, Kev Barton, who will have the presentation in a minute or two. Thanks for your time, Gaz. And,
no problem, Si. See you again soon. Cheers, good night.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the presentation ceremony here at the McCure Hotel in Cardiff after what has been an absolute sensational final from two of the world's finest players. As always, unfortunately, it has to be a loser, but what a performance he put up. He's the tour number one, he's the world number one, he's the Welsh Open runner-up, Mark Farnsworth. Well, there's not much to say after that. What a fantastic final, but probably reflecting back, I think the break probably killed you in that match.
It's one of them things, isn't it? Obviously, it's an important part of the game, so I would never use it as an excuse, even though my break's terrible, but I've just got to improve it.
So it's 6-4 down, sat in your chair. You must have thought, well, that's that, and an incredible miss from Mark at 6-4, and then actually that galvanised you to win the next two frames.
Yeah, obviously I got in front. It was a 2-1. I think, did I miss a chance to go 3-1? I can't remember now, but obviously didn't give in. Just obviously 6-4 down the lead, being playing. Obviously expect them to get the clearance, and obviously when he didn't, just got to try and keep in there and try to obviously make a game of it, and then obviously done well to get back to 6-all, and then I thought I hit the break pretty well on the side. I obviously didn't get a ball anyway and got kicked in off, so got punished for it. So that's what he deserved.
Yeah, and your opponent, he played well. I mean, he did well to sink that black, bearing in mind what had happened 2 frames before.
Yeah, he deserved it. Obviously, I just felt as if I was second at the table all the time. Obviously, my own fault. He pretty much dominated the match, and I was just probably feeding off the scraps, really. We obviously thoroughly deserved to win.
But nonetheless, I know you'll be disappointed because it's titles that you play for, but you must be delighted with your form and, going into the rest of the year.
To be honest, I was playing really well before the Worlds, and then obviously I was good at getting beat off Craig in the quarters. And then this weekend I haven't really played much, to be honest, and struggled a bit today, but just managed to obviously nick a few games which I probably should have lost early rounds, but obviously managed to just keep fighting, so never mind.
Well, as a pool fan, it's great to watch you play. Top of the game, and the best player in the world. And we look forward to seeing you in many more finals the rest of the season. Hopefully,
if I can improve my break.
Okay, well, a little piece of silverware to take home. Well done. Mark Farnsworth. Mark Farnsworth there. What a comeback there from 6-4 to 6-all. But our winner on his IPA debut, he is the Welsh Open winner, Mark Boyle.
Thank you.
Mark, I thought we'd be having this conversation 2 frames ago.
Well, I tried my best. I need to get my bed. I'm up for a 9:30 match in the amateur tomorrow, so I think that was the more pressure. I need to get in my bed, but I was just glad to go over the line there.
I mean, you're used to winning big money matches, and how did the pressure compare to those big money matches when you were down on that black?
Oh, well, the last black, yeah. Well, the one I missed, I had to bring that one up, but I did. It's a total different ball game. Money matches, because you can get a chance to settle into the match, and sometimes you can run ahead. With the shorter races, it just magnifies it at times, because you don't get time to settle. Unless, like, obviously your money match goes like quite close at the end, where it's just the same pressure. You're under it, you can't afford to miss. Not at this level anyway. If you miss, you're basically beat.
And the final black to win, it was a great black. Were you having thoughts of the black that you missed, or did you manage to blank all that out?
No, but the black I missed, I thought of the yellow right at the last minute there. When I went to hit it, I was like, oh, I might hit the yellow here, because it just caught my eye. And then with the last one, I wasn't missing the last one. No chance. That's why I took my time, and because I think I rushed that the last black a wee bit, and then obviously my arm went. So, but then a bottle went as well. Did you hear that?
Yes.
I thought that was my bottle. But I was just glad, just glad to go for the line.
Yeah. And Mark came right back at you once you missed that black, and 6-all.
To be expected for Mark. Mark's a top quality player. He's proved it over the years with the money matches, tournament wins, everything. He's, I would say, probably the best Blackball player there is out there just now, that plays full time. So, no, it's a privilege to play him, especially on a set-up like this. You can't beat it, So.
And obviously you've come to the tour full time now, and obviously an amazing way to start.
Yeah, Mrs. permitting, I'll be there full time, No, looking forward to the season ahead. One thing I want to say, this was for my boys, especially Kai as well. It's his 14th birthday today.
All right.
So I missed, yesterday, so I missed that. So that's for the boys.
Okay, well, Mark, it gives me great pleasure to give you the trophy. You are the Welsh Open champion 2017. Well done, Mark Boyle. Well done. Well done. Great performance. So that concludes the action today. We're back at 9:30 in the morning for the conclusion of the professional and the amateur events. So hope you've enjoyed today, and we'll see you again in the morning.